All right, so I was talking to one of my tenants last night. I don't remember what we were talking about, but somehow it got to this story that I have from North Dakota. So my first day in like North Dakota, like this was a crazy job. I didn't apply for the job. It's the only job I've ever gotten in my life that I have no idea how I got it. I just like got a call from them and took the job. So I'm like
Mhm.
flying up there and everything's crazy. Like the guy that hired me didn't say a word to me. And, like, nobody on the plane said a word to me. I just kinda, like I had to sit in the cockpit because they didn't have room for anybody else. So I was, like, sitting in the passenger seat of the cockpit, which was really cool for takeoff and landing, but aside from that,
Yeah.
like, it's tiny. There's no room up there, so it kinda fucking sucked. Anyways, like, we get to North Dakota. I had to do this crazy drug test where, like it's just a normal drug test, but, like, I got off the plane in North Dakota. I had to piss my brains out, so I fucking pissed like crazy. Then I go to the office, and I have to fill out all this paperwork, and then they're like, "Okay, we're gonna drop you off. You're gonna take a drug test, and then you'll head out to work with everybody." I'm like, "Alright, no problem." We get to the drug test place, and I can't piss. I already emptied my bladder. Like,
Yeah.
I'm out, right? So I'm sitting in there and I'm like fucking chugging coffee. I don't even drink coffee. I was just drinking as much coffee as I could possibly drink. And I like go out to the truck. I'm like, hey guys, sorry, I can't fucking piss. I'm going as quick as I can, but like I pissed already and I've got nothing. I'm shooting blanks right now. So they're all in the truck getting pissed off because they're like, oh, this fucking guy's not gonna pass the test. I'm like, we're just sitting here wasting our time. I was sober, I'd been sober for 5 years. So like there was no way I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna pass the test. So I finally like squirt out some fucking piss, and it's like I don't even remember what movie it is where some guy's trying to piss and it's just like going everywhere. And I
A
finally like I
sprinkler.
bring it out. I'm like, is this enough? And it's like this much, and they're like, yeah, we'll make it work, you know. So I go out and like on the way to this is a long cold open. Sorry, on the way to the job site, I'm already like picking up these guys' like frustration with me taking so long. So I have to piss my fucking brains out by the time because we had to drive like 2 hours to a reservation to work on. So I'm like dying. And I want to ask these guys to pull over, but I've already wasted so much time that I didn't want to. So like I went as far as I could to the point where like my kidneys were hurting. And
Yeah.
I finally had to stop. And then I get out there and I can't fucking piss. Like I'm locked up and I'm just in pain. Anyways, we go through the day. It was a horrible day. Like I was running on no sleep, like getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to fly there and then work. Like it was a long fucking day. So I crash out at night. I didn't really like meet any of the guys that I was living with. I was living in a trailer with like six other guys, and I had to share a room with another guy. I was on the bottom bunk. He was on the top bunk. Maybe it was the other way around. I don't remember. Next morning, I wake up and I'm hearing this. And the bed is fucking shaking. And I'm going, what the fuck is going on? And then I kind of figure it out and I go, hey. And I like kick the bed and I'm like, what the fuck is going on up there? And this guy's like, oh, I didn't know you were awake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck did I get myself into? Go through the day, forget about it, kind of. Then the next day, it happens again. And at this point, I'm like fucking grossed out and kind of creeped out. And I finally go to my foreman and I'm like, dude, the guy I'm living with is jerking off every morning. He's like, "Oh my, it happened again." And I went, "Again?
Again.
What do you mean again?" And they're like, "Yeah, he's kind of mentally disabled and he has a bit of a masturbation problem." I'm like, "So you put him in a room with somebody else? Like give this guy his own fucking room. What are we doing here?" So, that's my masturbation story.
That's a good one.
It's a good one. Here we go. What's going on? It's time for another episode of Too Hard for the Radio. Transmitting from the future free state of Greater Idaho, I am the one-armed madman. And back with us, we've got the great Daniel Steele, Music City, America. You all know the thing. Here he is.
What's
Here we
happening,
go.
everybody?
Oh, we're just rocking out. We're listening to some new music this week. Just kind of fucking hammering out. Ye is in the
Speaking of-
news.
I want to tell a piss story first.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
So my buddy was supposed to come over this weekend and stay with us. His girl ended up getting sick. They were like at a convention a half hour from our house. So they canceled and we went to this event called Bass Prom. and it was like you had to wear formal clothes,
Yeah.
but it
You
was a
looked
bay
good. You
show,
guys
so
looked good. I like the suit.
it's a bunch of weirdos. And the suit. So when my wife and I got married, we didn't have a wedding because we got married in June of 2020. And then we were like, oh, we'll have one in the fall when everything opens, and then we'll have one next fall when everything opens. And at some point, we're like, who would we do this for? Everybody knows we're married.
Yeah.
So last year there's 2 Mardi Gras weekends. We went to mini Mardi Gras, and we got a photographer. And my wife, she was a costume designer in Vegas, so she designed, like, I bought a purple suit off of Amazon, and she designed it. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
So I go to the bath. I go have like 2 or 3 beers. I'm like, oh, it's time to break the seal. I go in the bathroom, and like I walk up to the urinal, and this dude like walks in behind me. He's like, your coat's so cool. And he like taps the guy that's standing next to me with his dick in his hand. He's like, stop, look at this. You have to look at his suit. And then I'm like, this is weird. And so then like that guy just gets the fuck out of there because like this weirdo's tapping him. And so the guy's like kind of hanging over the stall, just like, man, that stitching, those details. Dude, I couldn't piss either. And I had to piss really bad.
You just locked
I'm like,
up.
yeah, have a good night, buddy. He offered me $500 for the jacket.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's fun. I've only worn a suit once in my life. We went on a cruise to Alaska, and they had like a captain's dinner one night where they expected everybody to dress up. So I had like this cheap, it was like a tan, and I had like black tie and black shirt, and I looked pretty fucking slick at the time. But
Yeah.
I've never worn one since. I've been in one wedding, and it was a no suit wedding, and then in my wedding, I didn't wear a suit. I just wore a button up shirt.
I bought some there's this designer I really like. His name's Ted Baker. He's from the UK, but in Vegas they had an outlet mall, so
Oh,
you could
cool.
get like a $700-800 jacket for $200. So
Yeah.
I had 2 or 3 of them when I worked my last big job, and I was going to my buddy's wedding about a month ago, and I went to put it on, and I just like didn't realize how much my shoulders had changed since I
Yeah.
started working out. So I was just like this, and I'm like, fuck, I can't wear it. So I called him. I'm like, do I have to wear a jacket? He's like, no, you're good, dude.
So
So
I've got an outlet mall story. This is not, it's like not a great story, but it's kind of like a microcosm of how much things have changed. So in 2001, I was racing a lot. We were traveling every weekend to go to races. We would go all over Northern California, Turlock, Hollister, Sacramento, just a bunch of different places. So we were in Turlock or not Turlock, it was Hollister one weekend, and it was raining at the track, and they canceled practice for the day. And we're like, all right, let's go down and we'll go to the outlet malls. So we went to the outlet malls, and they had all these cool places. They had a No Fear shop. You remember that brand No Fear that was
oh
around?
yeah,
They were fucking badass back in the day. So we always go to the No Fear shop. They had a Fox shop, and like it was a cool outlet mall. And then we went out to dinner, and then we were like, oh, let's go see a movie. And we went to the movie theaters, which again don't exist anymore. The outlet malls are all gone. The movie theaters are all gone. And we saw a movie that we'd never heard of called Joe Dirt. And it was fucking
wow.
great. Like back in the day, man, like you could just do shit like that. You go out and find something to do, and it'd be fun. And like Joe Dirt's a classic fucking movie, you know? It was pretty cool.
Yeah, we worked with Sony, and like one of the first movies that they had us promote was Joe Dirt 2,
Ugh,
directly to Crackle.
it was bad.
It was challenging just to get social uplift on it, but that was
That's a movie that didn't need to it shouldn't have happened. Like
no,
you don't need a sequel to that movie. Just let it
nope,
exist the way it
yep.
is. Like it's fucking great. There's no way you're gonna recapture that magic, you know,
At
in a
least
movie like
Netflix
that.
didn't remake it.
Yeah, right. Like it would have sucked. They would have replaced Joe with like some trans woman.
Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah. Joe Dirt's fucking Jasmine Crockett. Oh
Man,
man, that would be fun.
I
That
guess
would be fun.
let's go on to Mr. Kanye West, man. What a horrible song.
I don't think we can play it. Like
No.
it's been outlawed on
Yeah.
YouTube, and like I don't think we can play it. Is it the most like offensive song ever written?
Oh no, it's horrible. I just heard the first bar in the auto tune and I turned it off. I don't even know what it's about.
Oh, you haven't listened to the
No,
whole
I'm
thing?
kidding.
You're fucking kidding me. You fucker. You fucker.
I hit up some like one of my more woke friends, and I'm like, and he loved Kanye, but like 5-7 years ago, because There's a few albums by Kanye that I really like. I think the last good album that he was on was Watch the Throne. Um, but so like I hit him up, I'm like, yo, that Kanye song, so horrible. Like, or it's disgusting. He goes, yeah, man, I know. I'm like, heard the first bar couldn't get past the auto tune. Do you even know what it's about?
Can you please explain autotune to me? I was gonna look it up and I was like, nah, I'll just let Dan explain it to me because I don't know what it is. The fact that Ben Shapiro knew what it was really made me feel like I was out of the loop on this.
um, I mean, one of his family members probably managed T-Pain when he put auto tune out.
Oh my god, you can't do that to me
Uh,
while I'm drinking.
T-Pain is the first popular person I've heard use it, and it's like your voice doesn't have to be that good. It just auto tunes, and it's like that. Like you can hear it's way different than like you probably haven't listened to much of Kanye's
No.
work, but he's like has a really good flow, and he has like really good or
Yeah,
had
no.
really good lyrics.
Like I've like the songs I've listened to, like the beats are good.
Yeah, and he produced all of those. But
So is he
then
more of a producer
he
than like a rapper or a singer? Like I don't even know what he's considered to be. Like I just never got into it.
well
I'm not into this type of
he's
music.
all of the above. He's a really talented producer. He just Jay-Z did the Blueprint 3, and and Timbaland was producing it, and they like locked down in a state in Hawaii. He's like, I don't want anything leaked. And somebody on Timbaland's team leaked a song. So Jay-Z fired all of them. Kanye came out and he did the whole album in like 6 days. And
Wow.
the album's really good as far as production goes. Like it's the album with like the big Alicia Keys song,
Yeah.
Welcome to New York or Now You're in New York. He's a talented producer.
Yeah.
I guess like I don't know anything about high fashion, but he really disrupted the high fashion world too. Um and then
Dude,
now
the
he's just
Yeezys are fucking sick. Like I wear so I'll just pull my shoe off right now just for kind of some
you
oh
wear
my god.
Yeezys.
I wish. I'm wearing knockoff Crocs made by Merrill. These are the best shoes I've ever had. I, I can't, I've never had a better pair of shoes than this. This is the fourth or fifth pair. I wear them out like once a year. They're just foam. Like my
Yep.
feet sweat too much to wear like slippers inside, even in the wintertime. So like I
Yeah.
just wear these fucking things. They're not great for yard work because I'm not gonna be able to get it back on now. So I'm gonna be rocking one shoe. They're not great for yard work because a bunch of shit gets into them. But aside from
Oh yeah.
that, like they're the most comfortable shoes I've ever had in my life.
Oh, I do my yard work in my Crocs. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I don't
Oh,
like the
last
Crocs
year
as much because of the back of them. Like, these ones have
oh,
got, like,
I
a
tear that
thing
off.
on the back, so it doesn't
Oh
like
yeah, no, I just like flip flop them.
yeah.
Last year I went to put a T post in the ground in my Crocs. I'm like, these things are thick enough.
Yeah.
And I like put all of my weight on that little like arrow thing,
Yeah.
and that fucking post came out. It touched my foot, like it went cut all the way through the Crocs, touched my foot. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go buy one of those things that drills it down
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Absolutely. But, unlike your producer point, like, a good producer is, you know, fucking priceless. Like I know Rick Rubin's a great producer. He did a lot of rap that I'm not into, but he also did like a lot of the Red Hot Chili Peppers songs that I really
Yeah,
like. Like the best Red Hot Chili Peppers were all produced by him. And then like, you know, I don't know if you ever listened to Nine Inch Nails, but like
yeah. Well, I mean,
Trent Reznor's incredible. Like I was
yeah,
watching when the Social Network came out, I was watching it and I'm like listening to the music. I'm like, man, this is fucking great music. And then a few minutes in, maybe halfway, I was like, this is fucking Trent Reznor. You can just hear that
yeah.
sound and the way the way he does things. It was like, oh man. And then he did that other movie, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and that soundtrack was fucking badass.
Yeah, the music that I listen to now, I was talking to my wife about this last week. It's kind of funny because like that's all we care about is the producer,
Mhm.
and then they put old hip hop lyrics over it just to give the song some structure. But mainly, it's just like we go to see the producers. We don't know like where the lyrics are coming from, if there's lyrics. It's just what we listen. So I've been listening to the same fucking rap for 30
Oh,
years,
me too.
and it just no, but different beats
Oh,
now,
oh,
and
oh, because it's yeah, I got
yeah,
you. I got
yeah,
you. Yeah, yeah.
just like they'll throw some Biggie on there, you know.
Yeah. That was like
Well,
my one of my favorite part. Like Mac Dre had a great flow. Like he had a really good flow with his raps and everything, but his beats were fucking incredible for the time, you know? Like
yeah,
a lot of his songs, you'd listen to them and just like, man, this is incredible. And then you listen to somebody like Jay-Z and just be like, it's not as good, you know? And a lot of that's personal preference. You know, everybody's gonna gravitate to one thing. And once you're really into somebody, then it kind of like
yeah.
snowballs to where you like all of it. But like
And it just
I
turns
I
out they're all
remember in the
pedophiles
early
anyway.
2000s thinking like, man, this guy's fucking beats are better than like most of the mainstream rappers that I listened to at the time.
Yeah. Then it turns out it's all just a big pedophile ring.
Yeah, no shit, right? Fucking you know, at least my guys never got into that shit. They weren't popular enough or rich enough to get into those parties.
There's a
They were busy robbing people, selling
there's
drugs.
a song by Biggie called what is a song by Biggie that called What's Beef. And like I sang along with it, but I never really got the lyrics until the Diddy stuff came out.
Mm.
And one of the lyrics are, or like one of the lines are, "My man will fuck your kid in the ass and throw him off a bridge." So like he knew.
Oh, wow. That's something. Yeah, dude, I listen to some stuff that, like it's wild, like rap music or like punk music that I used to listen to when I was younger, and I loved it, you know, like, I was really into Pennywise when I was younger. I don't know if you ever heard them, but they're a fucking great
Yeah,
band, and, like, I loved their songs, I loved all of it, and then, like, I didn't listen to them for a long time. I'll go through time where I, like, won't listen to a band for a while, and then, like, you know, hear one of their songs randomly, and I'm like, "Oh, wow." Like, I never got that, and a lot of it was,
yeah,
like, I didn't get it until I understood politics and philosophy and anarchism, and now listening back to it, it's like, "Fuck, man." Like, not only is it great music, but, like, these guys got it. They got it in the
yeah,
'90s, like, they got it way before I got it, and, like, to go hear them in concert, still saying the same shit and laying down the same fucking lines, like, Offspring is one of my favorite bands of all time. Like, I think the first album that I ever bought was Offspring Americana. And dude,
okay.
like, the fact that they cucked out during COVID just makes me think that, like, you never believed any of the shit that you were saying, you know?
Oh, same thing with Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, they're the worst.
Yeah,
They're absolutely
and
the
like
worst.
I didn't get at the time that they were promoting communism,
I never
but
liked
a
their music,
lot
luckily.
I did. You know, and it was like a lot of it was anti-government, which I really which really resonated
Mhm.
with me. And I didn't get the whole communist side. And now they're like, "Oh no, get the jab, rage with the machine."
Yeah. Rage for the machine, you know?
Yeah, rage for the machine.
Yeah, man, like there's a lot of great bands that really got it, you know, and one of my favorite artists is, Warren Zevon, which is he's not very popular with especially with younger people, like, I don't know how I got into him. I heard one of his songs, like, on the radio or maybe on a
I
movie or
don't even know
something
who
like
that
that.
is.
Oh, really? Like, I'll send
Yeah.
you his first album's fucking incredible. It might not be your style of music, but you can listen to it anyways and see if you like it, but he sang, Werewolves of London, so everybody's heard one of
Oh,
his songs.
okay. I know. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know that one.
everybody's heard one of his songs, but that's not his best song, like, by far. His first album's just fucking incredible, and he got a lot of it. Like, they called him the outlaw of Los Angeles because, like, he was kind of a country boy and he didn't fucking treat people in the South or, you know, people like us that may not live in, you know, downtown Los Angeles. He treated us like normal people. And,
Yeah.
you know, like that was not something that they did back then. Like it's been the same, you know, deplorables has kind of been the thing for as long as either of us have been alive. We didn't really know it at the time, but you know, I don't know. It's just cool to like find artists that you resonate with
Yeah.
and that you wouldn't think you would. Cause like listening, like now I've listened to almost his entire catalog and like wouldn't have been a band or a guy that I would have been into 20 years ago. But now for some reason, like it just resonates with me. And he does a lot of funny songs too. A lot of his stuff is humorous. Like one of his best songs is about a headless gunman who like
Oh,
comes back to life and goes around killing all the people that fucked him over in the war and shit like that. It's pretty good. I
yeah.
think his best song is Lawyers, Guns, and Money. And that one's
Okay.
fucking great because it's just it's about like getting fucked and like, "Hey, man, I need lawyers, guns, and money." Like, shit has hit the fan. That's one of the lines is, "Send lawyers, guns, and money. The shit has hit the fan." And it's just great, like, because I totally resonate with that. Like, I've been in those situations before where you have to call somebody and be like, "Hey, I'm fucked right now. Like, we need lawyers, guns, and money. Like, I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do."
I've had that song stuck in my head for like 2 weeks.
Which one?
Werewolves of London.
Oh, yeah, it's a great song.
Uh,
It's fun.
have you ever heard of Yapoon Holly?
No.
So it's the only plant in North America that naturally grows caffeine. And it grows in the southeast. During colonial times, it was very competitive with the East Indian Trading Company. So they got together, they named it the Spanish word for vomit, and they said only savages would drink it. So nobody drank it like since colonial times, and it's just starting to make a resurgence. We've been making like tea with it, but I would replace the instead of saying awu, I would say yapoon, and I'd just fuck around the walking around the house singing that for the last 2 weeks.
Right on. So, it's been like I guess a week or two since you've been on. I
Two
got brain
weeks,
damage. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. You've been a busy guy. How
yeah.
this is something I wanted to ask you about. Like you've got happy going. It seems like that just to me, anyways. Like it seems like that's kind of gone on the back burner, and you're going
Um,
into the agents a little more. How do you
so
decide where you put your time with these types of things? Like to run one business is hard enough to have two going and to have to like split your time between them. How do you figure that out?
so with Happy, it wasn't necessarily on the back burner. We were waiting for machinery that got held up in customs.
Gotcha.
Actually, shit. One second, I'll be right back.
Yeah, no
I've been
problem.
saying, wait, don't
I'll
order from
vamp.
us, don't order from us till we get this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Grab them.
Happy's a it's an interesting fucking company though. I love that like there are things on this planet that we aren't told about that can improve your life
Like
in
Yapoon.
yeah, like a boon in a dramatic way, you know? So like I think it's a great business. Like I hope you make money on it, but just like the fact of the mission is incredible to me.
So these are our newest product, Happy Melties. And how we got to this was so we have a shit ton of the other inventory, but we started working with a microbiologist in like
Mm,
November last year, and we learned that the liver can kill 10 to 90% of the bioavailability. So we had people buying our products that you would eat, and half of the people just fucking loved them, and it was a great time. And the other half were like, "Hey, I just ate $50 worth of candy and I didn't feel anything." So it's not a good business to be in. We made it right with the people that complain, but
yeah.
you still don't want that to be your business. So we went down this road and we make these, and they're little tablets that melt under your tongue. They for me it takes about 3 minutes, and I start feeling like a nice euphoric
Happy.
feeling. Yeah, of
You
happy.
start feeling
And then in
happy.
about 10 minutes, I'm like pretty elevated, and it's just like a good 45-minute buzz, but there's no crash. So it just like suddenly goes down. 2 hours later, I'll still be in like a really good mood. It's not like I took something and it came down and it crashed. So
I've had that happen
we
with ecstasy before where I've just had this really smooth like, when you get the good stuff, like pure
yeah,
MDMA, like, you get a really smooth come down.
yeah. So we got our first like we did a sample production run, so we only ran 100 packs and sent out a bunch of samples to stores, shit like that. And then we took a bunch to a nightclub. And with our other products, we have people scan a QR code, get their phone number, and they get a free sample. Over half of the people that sampled this came back and bought some for $50, which was phenomenal.
That's a
And the
valuable
full
email list. Like, I've heard a
yeah.
lot of, like, business people Tom Woods always talks about the value of an email list.
Oh, text message is even more powerful.
Hmm.
So the full production run gets here Friday, and that'll be doing great. Now with that business, I built it initially to be a lifestyle business. So strategy, art for my wife, and we were kind of out of it. So we have a couple of partners that bring a lot to the table. With starting the new company and the way that we structured the business, I was able to kind of step aside. Um, I'm the only person in the group that's good at Chinglish, so I deal with the factory still at night.
Mm.
But for the most part, my day to day, there's not a ton of lift for happy. Then on the weekends, we've gone to events and shit, but like that's the weekend anyway.
And is that by
And then
design or is that just something that happens?
designed it that way because I thought, oh, I'll just like have this business that everybody will make good money on it and we'll make good money, but I won't have to do a whole lot of heavy lifting. And in that said, we're 3 years in. We spent a lot of time on customer experience. So we went through and we drilled down on like not even customers, everybody that interfaces with our company. So whether it's a vendor, whether it's a sales floor, whether it's a customer, we went through and we said, how do we make this the best possible experience? So when you get a box from us, like there's a little handwritten note for my wife in it, and like we shipped the same day, and we ship UPS instead of USPS because just a lot less problems, even though it's a little more expensive. And we just like tried to build out and now we built these processes to where anybody can do it. Like the magic in the business isn't stuffing a box; it's figuring out how to do it right and make people feel special. And just a team of killers. I've been able to put together a team of killers. Great CMO, great head of sales. My partners have a ton of experience in the space, so it's like, all right, that's gonna be a cool. But I thought we were gonna go to like a bunch of festivals and shit, but then like that's what we would do for the
Yeah.
business.
That's what my old
Um,
landlord used to do. He sold t-shirts and they were like copyright rip-off t-shirts,
yeah,
like shit you can't sell in stores. Like he would use Nike symbols and Puma symbols and shit like that. And he would do jokes off them, but he would travel fish and he would just go to
mhm.
all the fish shows. When I first lived with him, he was like employing me a little bit because I didn't have any money. And he was like, all right, find me the fastest route from, each fish show to the next one. And so I'd have to go on MapQuest and like find a route for him and shit. Like it was kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. But so we thought a lot of our business model was going to be just like getting a booth at festivals. Then we went to one and we realized that anybody who was like curious enough to try something new like this was already on drugs.
Mm.
So it's like not a
You're not
great
going to get a
business
good
model.
sample out of that.
And so the new business is very has a lot of similarities and crossover with the last big business that I did. So when a friend of mine called me about some data that he had available, he's like, "Could you do anything with this?" And I sat and thought about it, and thought about agents and stuff like that. And I called a couple of people that know the business very well, and the first two people I call asked to invest. And I'm like, okay, so that's a good
Yeah.
indicator. I need to put some time into it. Struggled for a while to find somebody technical to work on it. And then my friend introduced me to a dude that lives around the corner from me. We have the same last name. He's 2 years younger than me. Didn't know each other, not related at all. And he's a fucking animal. He worked on a similar project years ago before the AI was available, just like big data, big marketing data project. And he said that he's been able to build in the last 2 months what it took him 3 years to build before. So we have this product that works. Chart like, and then I hired a user interface person in Brazil. Guy's 10 years experience, just another killer. Good, like very fair price because he's in Brazil. Otherwise, we wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to afford him. Um, so we have like our company looks like it should be 2 or 3 years old, and it's 2 months old or
Wow.
3 months old now. And I thought as we were building this, I was like going through the traditional steps of venture. Like in order to get your first like million or $2 million, you normally have to have like a couple paying customers or like some big corporations that are using your shit for free.
Mhm.
And I've been on VC calls a lot lately, and it looks like I'm gonna get to just skip that step and just raise the money and start doing what I'm trying to do. So it's like I've tried a lot of different shit over the years. We like before the as this business came along, we were starting to look at seriously doing a tallow company.
Oh, really?
Um, and this opportunity came along, and like if this goes well, it's like generational wealth if I do it right. And like just firing on all cylinders right now. Now it's business. Business gets hard. There's other challenges,
Mhm.
but since I've done a very similar business, and I went from 0 to 100 employees and 0 to 8 million in revenue. Um, a lot of the shit that I used to spend my time chasing my tail on, I already know what to do and how to do. So I'm not focused on that. I'm actually being proactive and getting shit done. It's really exciting. I didn't think I would get back into a big tech project, but here I am.
Yeah, I mean, when shit falls into place, it just kind of falls into place, right?
Yeah.
So I was watching, I don't remember exactly where I saw this. I wrote it as a note to bring to the podcast. So I can't I think I heard it on that on that that podcast where the guy was talking about androids and shit. Like I didn't watch the whole thing, but it was on Truth for the Commoner. And he said, I think it was him. It might have been somebody else, but just for the sake of argument, doesn't really matter. Was saying that AI agents will require 10 gigawatts in the next 4 years. Now, when I look at that, I go, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of energy. That's 10 full-size large nuclear reactors. That's a bunch of gas power plants. And as like a lineman, I'm looking at this and I go, we can't get that online in 4 years. It doesn't matter if you're doing gas, wind, solar, nuclear. Like there's no way to get 10 gigawatts online in the next 4 years for just that purpose. Like we need
Yeah.
that just to survive, essentially. Like we're not putting enough power on the line. So I thought about it in a sense of like, okay, let's say I wanted to start a business in my garage. Let's say I wanted to build something I've been talking about for a long time is airplanes should be available to normal people like me and you. Like the fact that like airplanes cost as much as they do is fucking ridiculous. So let's say I want to build an aluminum frame and put a couple dirt bike engines in it and make this thing like a four-seater quadcopter or a two-seater, even a one-seater, whatever. And let's say I've got to weld aluminum for this and I need a big air compressor. So I need three-phase power to get this. In order to get three-phase power, it's going to cost me 10 to 30 grand, depending on if I go a pad mount transformer, if I go a pole mount transformer. So what do you think when you hear numbers like that?
Um, so I here's how I kind of future proof this or look at it at least. I looked at when obviously as a joke, I wrote that book on ChatGPT, and I've been looking at generative AI. And every idea that I had, or I'm like, oh, maybe I should take action on this, became a feature of something else. So like ChatGPT or OpenAI released this, Anthropic released that, and it's like, oh shit, I just became a feature. So the way that we built the platform now is like there's a ton of people dumping a ton of money into making AI better, agents better, that sort of thing. We're super fluid to where you can change LLMs in our interface, and your agent will work out. If you want to run off Anthropic, if you want to run off Gemini or Grok or whatever, it's in there. So the better things get, the better the ecosystem gets, the better my product gets.
Mhm.
And what my secret sauce is the data. So for me, I'm not too concerned about not having availability to run what I need to run.
Cool. Hey, that's cool, man. I look at it and I go, man, like, but I don't know anything about this shit. So like, I would look at it and go, man, am I gonna get to a spot where like I need to take a step, and that step requires more energy than I can get my hands on? But at the same time, like if you're able to get the things running on the available energy now, then maybe you don't need to take that step.
Yeah. Yeah. I like there I would encourage people to check out N8N, the letter N, the number eight, the letter N. It's not completely non-technical, but there's a ton of YouTube videos out there. And there's a lot of automation that you can do just to make your life easier.
Mhm.
Like you could screen any leads that come in that want to be guests. You can have it do your scheduling, shit like that.
Yeah,
It'll make your life easier.
I just
I'd
started with
imagine in 2 or 3 years, it'll be like you just point and click, and you
mhm.
don't have to go retrieve API keys and shit like that. Um, where I see agents really changing things is in e-commerce.
Okay.
So uh imagine if you took my Amazon shopping history and then I connected my Bank of America account so it had all of my regular shopping history and it really understood my preferences. And I'm like, look, I need a black jacket. And Stripe has already built the framework there so that agents can talk to each other and make purchases online through Stripe without a human interacting. So like, that's where I see the first big kind of revolution or disruption coming. And then the second place where I see it is so we are able to build this really, really quick and it's really powerful because we didn't have any of the baggage of having a 5-year-old company, having
Mhm.
invested millions of dollars in code, and, like, having to kinda live with that because we can't just start over throw it away and start over. I do see companies starting to embrace this, so, the bigger software providers like um, Salesforce, HubSpot, things like that, or even like Microsoft products that just kind of like work their way into
Mhm.
enterprise, and it's just like really hard to change them out. I see a lot of companies just starting to build internal shit, and you can kind of look at like what goes into Salesforce, what comes out of it. Like we put in our customer data, and then we get these sales metrics or whatever it is, and I see people like AI kind of just companies just like fuck paying Salesforce $200 per month per employee that we have. We can just build this for 50K and completely cut that out of our system. So I see a lot of those type of software companies having challenges in the near future. Um, but I don't see it disrupting an individual's life or making you not competitive running a podcast by not having these.
Gotcha. So I just started with this company today called Opius AI, and you upload a podcast from YouTube or wherever you want to upload it from, and it'll go through and it created 40 clips for me in about 30 seconds, 40 seconds, something like maybe a little longer. I don't remember exactly. Could have been minutes. Now their sales technique, I guess you would call it, is it's an individual prescription subscription plan. You sign up for it, and then it gives you tokens. You know, you get a
Yep.
certain amount of tokens for the what how's your sales model gonna look? Are you gonna do something similar to that, or is it gonna be something that like you sell to a company and they can just use it whenever and however they want?
Yeah, we're working through some pricing models. So like our main product we want to be premium and to sell into big, companies where it's like we could have $1 million contracts. So we don't want to go all the way downstream and try to get somebody for $10 a month using our shit
Individuals.
too.
Yeah.
So it'll be more of a per seat. People don't understand tokens. Like I
I
know what
don't
they
like
are.
tokens. I think it's a bullshit model where they kind of are shaking you down. Like I
Well,
feel like if I
it's
pay $175 for the year, I should be able to use it as much as I fucking want.
well, a token is how large language models measure data.
This is different what I'm talking about.
Okay.
This is
Well, no,
just
it might not be because
they give you a certain amount of it's like I don't even know if they call them tokens. Let me open it up right now.
okay.
They don't even credits. They call them credits. So you get every time
Oh,
you
we're talking
upload
about 2 different things. Okay.
exactly. So every time you upload a clip, it costs a credit, and you can only upload 5 clips per day. But you can you can schedule it to do it, 5 clips a
Yeah.
day. But you can download it and upload it yourself. I just think it's bullshit that like you pay for a fucking subscription, and then if you run out of tokens or credits, you got to buy more credits. And
Well, that's how they expand you past the $170 a year.
yeah, I don't like it.
Also, like, think about how much time you're saving. You probably would pay $500 a year for that. If I told you,
We'll see.
"Hey, it takes you 8 hours to cut out clips for every episode. You're
Yeah.
doing 1.5 episodes a week, so we're talking about 12 hours a
Yeah.
week
Easily.
annualized." That's like
Yeah, dude,
700 hours.
I would have to like go to my YouTube video, go to the podcast. I'd have to screen record. I get that. And if I want to do it in 9:16 up and down, like the way you do on shorts and shit like that, then I have to go and put it into CapCut. And well, first, no, I have to take that clip. I have to put it into iMovie. Then I have to change the aspect ratio, move things around depending on if it's one person talking or two persons talking. And then I have to load it to CapCut. And then I have to edit the end of it so the CapCut thing doesn't come out. It takes a long time to do a couple of clips. And this was able to do 40, 50 clips in a couple of minutes. Like, that's crazy. And I would be willing to pay, like you said, $400 a year for that if it was worth it. You know, we'll see if it's worth it. Like, I can already
Yeah.
go to, YouTube and we can see how it's done today. I put up
Well,
3 shorts and 1 short video. One of the shorts has got 570 views. That's the most views we've got on anything on the show ever. So
yeah.
I think that's pretty good, but I don't
So
know that it's
that's
gonna
how those
translate
models
to, like,
work, though.
subscribers and viewers, you know what I mean?
Right. So, and you'll see, and you have the year to figure that out. But all right, so you're taking a risk paying the 179 because you don't know if it's gonna. One, you don't know that you're getting 40 videos out. You don't know that you're saving those hours. They have sales shit on their site, but I never believe that. All right, so now you're in for 179. It's made your life incredibly easier.
Mhm.
And if it starts expanding subscribers and that sort of thing, you might use it more. So like, what if you go up to 350 a year? Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
And that's why those models are built that way. It's like, okay, we'll let you in at a $12 a month price point or whatever, 13 whatever. And um then you'll find the value with us. And once you can't leave, you can't leave. So now is when we're gonna make it hurt.
Yeah.
And that's just how it works.
Yeah. Hey, though, it was a lot cheaper than I talked to a physical person with a
Yeah.
company that did this, and they wanted, like, $2,500 a year,
Yeah.
3,500. It was outrageous. Like, I remember thinking it was gonna be too expensive when I talked to the guy, and I even sent in
Yeah.
the email. I was like, "I guarantee this is gonna be more than I wanna pay." And I was thinking it was gonna be $400 or $500 a year. That was kind of my thought. Like, that seemed like a fair price. And then they quote me thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm like, "No, man. Like, I can't fucking do that." Like, and then you go and you see some of the people that they have, that they advertise that they do work for, and you go and look at their podcasts, and it's like, well, they're not doing that great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, their top guy, I think, was Zuby. And you go and look at Zuby's podcast, and I'm sure he's making a living, but he's not getting that many views.
Yeah. Um Yeah, I mean that's where AI is really gonna help because you don't need those people. They were probably getting the work done in like the Philippines or something, and
Yeah,
they were probably making 20-30% margins.
that's what I
Like
was
they
thinking.
weren't killing it at $2,500 a year. There's no way they're killing it at that. So
And I
so
mean,
it's not even like they were that greedy.
and it's crazy, like, if you could use something like this and then not tell the people that you're using it, you would make a fucking killing, right?
There's people doing that
I'm
for
sure there
sure.
is. Like, that would be a
Yeah,
smart business model at this point. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
because then you got to deal with customers.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you're looking to rip people off and that's your fucking thing, you're a scammer, like, who gives a shit, right? I do have
Yeah.
a video that I think we
Oh,
could
I
play.
do want to say one thing
Sure.
on before I'm gonna self promote. I am looking for some people with WooCommerce or Shopify stores to test. We're looking at making another version of the site that's for ecom people,
Mhm.
so it won't be like our lowest price on the main thing is 60,000 a year, and our highest price is a quarter million, and this will be like $10 a month scaling up to $99 a month depending on like how big your company is. So if anybody has a e-commerce platform and wants to take this for a spin, I'll give you a year free just for testing it out for me.
Nice. Do you have a
um
beta platform that other people can, like, buy
I
to
got to
try out at
manually
this point?
onboard people.
Oh, okay, cool. That's right.
Yeah.
Bitchin'. I do have a
So
video that we could play that kind of ties into this. I thought it was kind of a cool video that I saw on Twitter the other
uh,
day.
my Twitter will be in the show notes, so just send me
Oh,
a DM on
perfect.
there.
Yep, yep.
Yep.
I've got all of Dan's information in the show notes all the time, so you
Yeah.
can always get a hold
Not
of him
not my
that way.
anonymous account.
Not your anonymous account. I will never give that one up. I'm sure you could probably find it if you dug deep enough into my shit, but you got to do some work to figure that one out, right? So this is an interesting video. This is some guy on Twitter. He's got no teeth and he's talking about this shit. I thought it was pretty interesting. It's gonna play. I'm gonna have to pause it and rewind it because I didn't clip it. So here we go.
R1, which means you could ask it, hey, I have 6.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, to be honest, I cannot make you the richest person in the world, but
shit, you
I
have no
can
teeth.
make you the richest person in the apocalypse. And I can do that by showing you this right here. Now, if you're thinking that just looks like a solar charger and a crappy Android, you're right. But it's not the phone itself that's valuable, it's what's on it. And it's really because of these apps. This one right here allows you to download an offline map of the entire world. This one right here allows you to download all of Wikipedia. And this one's probably the coolest because it allows you to download an offline version of the AI model DeepSeek R1, which means you could ask it, hey, I have 6 car batteries, a bunch of wire, and a solar panel. How do I use them to get electricity? Or whatever. Basically, you have all the tools that you would need to rebuild society from scratch, and you got a little friend to talk to along the way.
Well, that was pretty interesting. I don't know if that AI is any good, but it would probably be helpful in a situation like that.
Yeah. Oh, so I can tell you about that AI.
Cool.
Um, do you, I don't know if you saw like a month or two ago, like Nvidia lost $1 trillion in market cap or
Mhm.
like a ridiculous amount. So that company, DeepSeek, is a Chinese company, and their headline was our model tests at or about as good as ChatGPT, and we were able to train this model for $6.5 million. While ChatGPT had billions into it. And it was pretty, there's two things. It's pretty disingenuous in that because they built, they spent $100 million building everything, and then they only trained it for 6.5 million. It wasn't like
Mhm.
the whole company only cost them 6.5. But what's interesting about that is China has been cut off from our infrastructure. There's a ban on selling our shit to China. So NVIDIA chips, AMD chips, the things that you need to do AI, and they were able to get this done without that big compute power. So what's interesting to me about that is we forced China not to be able to have those things, and they still found a way to do it without those things. So it really sparked innovation. And I think we might be a little spoiled here. Like people might not be working to where we don't need the 10 gigawatts of power, right? Because we just get the
Mhm.
power shows up, the compute shows up, so nobody's really optimizing for that. Um, but it was all pretty interesting. I I did not, I do not use it because when I'll get you the screenshot, but I'm like, hey DeepSeek, uh what's the famous picture of a man holding groceries in front of a tank?
Mhm.
And it starts responding, and then it's like, I can't talk about that. Let's talk
Yeah.
about something else.
Yeah.
So the Chinese government censoring large language models in the United States.
And that's fucking wild. Uh,
Yeah.
I was dicking around with ChatGPT the other day about Ye's new song, and it's censored nigga in the song, like in the thing, like when it's talking about it says Hail Hitler, but then it censors nigga. It's like, what are you guys doing? Just it's so stupid. It's kind of silly in a way that like
Yeah.
what I can't read a word. It's so bad that I can't even read it. Like, come on. And that 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 type of shit really fucking pisses me off, to be honest. I think
Yeah.
it's it seems like it's not a big deal, but in reality, it really is because they're shaping the way you see things. Like that ChatGPT is a fucking gaslighting machine. That thing can gaslight
Yeah.
you better than just about anything. Like, especially like I tell people all the time, go and talk to it about things that you know a lot about. Like that's the best way to get in touch with these things and because you could ask it some random question that you don't know the answer to. And then how can you check it? You don't know if it's giving you the right information, if it's censoring something, if it's sending you down the path that its programmers would like you to go down rather than the path that might lead you to actual answers. So, like, I talk about dirt bikes and electricity with these things. And a lot of times it is wrong. Like, it is wrong about electricity a lot, especially when, you know, I've asked it questions about, how are you going to power yourself in 5 years when you need a ton of electricity and the electrical grid in the United States is falling apart? We don't have the people to rebuild the grid that's falling apart and expand the grid. Like we don't have people to do either one of them, let alone both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even fucking really have an answer for you because I don't think there is an answer at this point. Like if these
And
things
it's not
are
great for looking into the future.
no, no.
It's just trained on a bunch of data. One thing I want to say about that Ye song, I completely forgot to. So like the people that are really racist and are just like getting onto it,
Yeah.
don't even really didn't even really listen to the
No,
words.
they don't get it.
I'm a cuck. I like watching my girl get fucked.
Yeah.
Where's my nitrous?
Yeah.
And like, and I think it'll just be hilarious for like these pretty bad people just singing along to this song that just like completely demoralizes the person singing it. You know.
Yeah. No, and like
Anyway, I
to
digress.
me, I think it all goes back to that original tweet where he said, I'm going DEFCON 5 or whatever on the Jews. And
Yeah.
like, I don't really know what he meant by that, but clearly, whatever he meant by it was not the way it was taken. And I think it all goes back to that tweet, really. You know, that's how he lost the deal with Adidas. That's how he lost a bunch of shit. And, you know, I don't know what he meant by that. I don't, you know, his brain is fucking weird. Like, he's a wired weird. That's why he's so good at what he does, but also why he's so fucking hard to understand. Like I don't really understand the message on this other than
Yeah,
just like,
I don't
hey, if
think
you're gonna call
he's
me a
whacked out on
Nazi,
nitrous.
if you're gonna call me a Nazi, fuck it. I'll go Nazi. Like, you want to see a Nazi? I'll show you a Nazi. That's kind of the way I look
He's
at it, but I don't know.
just strung out on drugs.
Yeah.
He's just strung out on drugs.
I've never
Nitrous
done
is
nitrous before.
it's fucking scary. I've seen a lot of people. One friend in particular I saw back in Vegas when I went back for that wedding, and like he was taking care of his dad. His dad had a rough like cancer, 3 years, dying, and then when his dad died, he really didn't have much purpose left, so he just started going in on it. And the dude was shaking like Michael J. Fox, and then he'd get up, from the reception and go to his car for a half hour to inhale nitrous and come back out. It's like it's pretty gnarly what it's doing to people,
It
and
eats
it
your
seems
brain.
so
Like
innocent.
it
Yeah,
destroys brain cells.
and it seems innocent. Like it's oh, I did this thing. I felt goofy for 5 minutes, and like that, and then it just hooks you. And I've seen it happen to a lot of people. I haven't done it in quite a while because like I'm just fuck that. Um, it's pretty fucking terrible.
So one day I'm working in San Francisco and I'm looking for my boss. Fuck is Steve? Steve was the general manager and partial owner of the bar I worked at. He listens to the podcast every once in a while. So shout out to Steve if he hears this. I'm sorry, Steve.
What up, Steve?
Yeah, I'm sorry to tell this
Tag
story.
him in this episode.
Yeah. So I go into the kitchen and I'm looking around for where the fuck is he? I'm like, Steve, you in here? And I hear him around the corner. And I go around the corner and he's doing whippets. I go, Steve, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, oh, I went back here to get some whipped cream and all of these things are almost empty. So fuck it. I'm going to do a couple whippets. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Steve was the man. He's the best manager I ever worked for. He had a drinking problem. I'm sure he probably still does. And he would be the first one to tell you that at the time. Anyways, like, dude, he was drinking on Antabuse one weekend. Like, he started going on Antabuse because his wife was just losing her fucking mind. And he's coming into work. He's like, oh, I got to take this fucking Antabuse, And me and him opened every Saturday and Sunday morning. So we spent a lot of time together. And fuck, man, one of my best friends. I love that guy. And dude, drinking on Antabuse just fucked up, man. Like, we had some great times working together. He was a fun guy. He never worked in a restaurant before that, which was cool because he didn't act like he knew it all. He wasn't going to tell me how to bartend or how to do my job. He was there to make my life easier, and he was so good at making me money, which I really appreciated. Like, none of the other guys I ever worked for were like actively trying to make me money. Where this guy, he would come in and he'd buy shots for the entire bar and, oh, thanks, tip the bartender. And he was just great about stuff like that. And he knew how to get a party going. He could take it from, you've got a bunch of individuals sitting at the bar and a bunch of individual families sitting behind it. He would take it from that to like everybody's partying together. We're all watching this football game together. You guys didn't.
Yeah.
And like, it was cool because in San Francisco, there's not a ton of sports bars. Like, there's some small ones and this and that. But like, when you look up sports bars in San Francisco, Ours was the biggest. We were on Pier 39. It was kind of like the touristy place to go. So every football fan, every basketball fan, baseball fan from out of town would come in and watch games at our place. And we had more TVs than any place in the fucking city. It was a fun place to work at. As far as tourist bars go, like that one was fun. The one in Maui was fun too, but it was a different kind of fun.
Oh. Oh, buddy, I gotta
Gotta
get going.
All right, man. We're out of here. That was a good one. We got some valuable information for some business people out there.